Rain pours down in Georgia's national forest, and we see a woman dying on a car's roof. We meet Anna, a journalist making her way home. She rushes through her apartment, clearing things out with frantic energy. An infected tooth has left her face swollen. Her philosophy is clear. Every story has two sides, but someone's always lying. The focus shifts to Jack, a police officer and devoted father to his daughter Meg. He shares a home with his sister Zoe. Jack and his partner Priya make their way to the woods to investigate the body. He guides Priya, stressing that instincts are worthless, facts are everything. At the scene, he observes the dead woman and determines she was involved in an affair, noting her wedding ring and numerous stab wounds. His need for control emerges as he insists on personally informing her husband and dismisses unnecessary personnel from the area. He also claims first rights to examine her phone when it's recovered. Meanwhile in Atlanta, Anna continues taking medication because she lacks time to address her tooth problem. She returns to her workplace after a year away and discovers her TV anchor role now belongs to Lexi Jones, an attractive blonde white woman. Jim, her boss, expresses sympathy and insists Anna's race played no role in the decision. The backstory emerges. She went missing for a year after her child's death. Anna asserts she can transform herself and pitches a story covering a white woman's murder in Dahlonega, a small southern town. Jim expresses doubt but approves one story. To irritate Lexi, Anna recruits her husband Richard Jones as her cameraman. At the crime scene, Anna holds back while other reporters pepper Jack and Priya with questions. After Jack shuts down the crowd, Anna inquires if he knew the victim. Shock registers on his face before he bolts, leaving Priya baffled. At their hotel, Richard and Anna discuss the day, and he questions her about what she asked. She avoids answering and engages him in playful conversation instead. She detects his insecurity regarding his celebrity marriage to Lexi. Flirtation and laughter flow between them as Jack watches from outside. When they head inside, Jack sweet-talks the hotel manager, someone who knows him, and gets Anna's room number. He desires to speak with Anna but grows upset when she becomes intimate with Richard. He knocks repeatedly on the door before departing. Anna catches sight of him regardless and mutters complaints about his stalking behavior. Richard questions what's unfolding, and she discloses that Jack is her husband. While she drives away, Jack instructs Priya to investigate Richard's background and pursues Anna. She speaks with Jim on the phone, fabricating details about her progress. She pulls up to her childhood home and shares an emotional reunion with her mother Alice. Jack materializes, and Anna bristles at his presence, though he's been caring for Alice due to her memory difficulties. Anna reacts with shock and distress when her mother declines medical attention. Addressing the main tension, Jack urges Anna to walk away from the case. She exploits his anxiety and forces him to confess that the murder victim is her friend Rachel Hopkins. He pleads for her discretion, and she gives her word. Details surface that Jack lost his Atlanta position last year during his search for Anna, and he despises being trapped in Dahlonega. She taunts him, prompting him to counter by raising Richard's name, which causes her to storm away. Jack departs and visits the morgue. The autopsy indicates Rachel suffered 40 stab wounds from a small knife. The absence of defensive wounds suggests she recognized her attacker. Evidence shows a man molested her, and the doctor suspects this man committed the murder. Anna rummages through old belongings and uncovers a handycam. The tape contains footage of her 16th birthday celebration. The recording shows her alongside Rachel, Zoe, Helen, and Catherine. Additional footage depicts them exploring ancient ruins in the forest. Anna also unearths a handmade friendship bracelet. In the current timeline, Dr. Turner discovers an identical bracelet inside Rachel's mouth. Jack and Priya arrive at the Hopkins residence to deliver the news, but something strikes them as odd. Mr. Hopkins hasn't filed a missing person report. His wealth is evident from the massive house. No one responds to the door, yet someone observes the detectives from a window. Jack returns home, distressed about missing his daughter's soccer practice. Adding to his frustration, the news displays Anna's report about Rachel Hopkins' murder. Rage fills Jack while satisfaction crosses Anna's face. A flashback reveals Jack and Rachel sharing an intimate moment in a car, with Anna observing from a distance. Anna scrolls through her old friend's social media profiles. A photograph of Meg alongside Jack appears on her screen. Without warning, Jack storms into the room, accusing her of selfishness for publicizing Rachel's identity. Jealousy over Richard colors his words, and he holds her responsible for their separation. She questions whether he would have remained loyal if she'd asked him to, and they both recognize the question serves no purpose now. They settle on coexisting, though she maintains her assertive nature. At the morgue, Dr. Turner presents the bracelet to the officers, and Jack realizes Zoe possessed one like it. Turner requests his DNA sample to eliminate his genetic material from the crime scene, but he dodges the request. Priya and Jack finally connect with Duffy Hawkins, learning he's impotent and maintained an open marriage with Rachel. She engaged in multiple secret relationships with both men and women and took pleasure in emotionally manipulating her partners, who were all strangers. They review Duffy's security camera footage, observing Rachel departing while on a phone call. He then takes his dog out in the rain and comes back. He accidentally mentions that Anna came by that morning and he informed her that Helen might know about the boyfriend. Jack grows irritated and attempts to reach Helen, who ignores his calls. To conceal things from Priya, he sends her to search around based on a hunch and dismisses her when she references his previous guidance. He locates Rachel's phone in his vehicle. Duffy has been calling it to deplete the battery, ignoring the police warning against doing so, and he's acting on Helen's instructions. As the officers depart, Jack snaps when Priya pushes the boyfriend theory. She proposes that the boyfriend must have inflicted 40 stab wounds to mislead the police and removed Rachel's nails to conceal his DNA. Frustrated, he reveals that Helen knows the boyfriend and Anna is his wife. To avoid encountering Anna, Jack declines to visit Helen, who currently serves as headmistress at Street Hillary's, the girls' former private school. While Anna travels, she provides Jim with updates. However, Jim reassures Lexi that Anna poses no threat anymore. Lexi disagrees, having witnessed Anna behaving flirtatiously with Richard in the B-roll footage. At the school, a flashback depicts Anna getting admission through a scholarship. Alice works as a cleaner for Rachel and requests that she befriend Anna. Instead, Rachel, Zoe, and Helen ridicule and mock Anna. In the present, Helen encounters Anna, and their exchange turns hostile. Anna seeks someone to publicly confirm that Jack was Rachel's lover, and Helen taunts her. She mentions Anna's deceased child and hints that a 20-year-old secret might come to light. Anna observes that Rachel, who held knowledge of the secret, is now dead. At the police station, Jack has Priya obtain Duffy's phone records. When alone, Jack stops the trace on Rachel's phone and attempts to unlock it. Priya enters and reminds him about his DNA sample. He keeps calling Helen while driving home to collect Zoe's DNA. She's absent, so he takes Meg's DNA instead. Information surfaces that Meg is actually Zoe's daughter, though she's an uninvolved mother. Anna observes them and becomes emotional. A flashback shows Jack and Anna purchasing a house and celebrating. In the present, Zoe notices her and makes an offensive gesture. Duffy continues calling Rachel's phone, and Priya detects a pattern. Somewhere else, Anna checks on her mother. Alice appears clear-headed now and upset that Jack disclosed the dementia diagnosis to Anna. She intended to tell Anna herself, but she vanished. She cooks with eggshells mixed in, and Anna appears concerned. She's reluctant to leave Alice, but Jim calls saying Lexi's disappeared, and he needs her to cover the story. Anna accepts and cannot promise Alice when she'll come back. Meanwhile, Duffy reaches out to Helen, expressing his desire to abandon their arrangement. Helen appears distressed and tearful while gazing at Rachel's photograph. Priya discovers a boot print at the crime scene matching Jack's boots. Jack goes to the morgue and turns in his DNA. When the assistant's attention shifts elsewhere, he employs Face ID on Rachel's corpse to access her phone. He swiftly erases his messages with her. He discovers Helen's text discussing someone identified only as C pressuring Rachel for money. Helen expresses reluctance to participate, but Rachel claims it's too late. She asks if Rachel has ended things with Jack, and he's stunned that Helen knows this. A flashback reveals Rachel, Helen, and Zoe mocking Catherine. They express confusion that Catherine has such an impressive sister, yet remains a social outcast herself. Anna attempts kindness and asks Catherine to join their table for lunch. Rachel deceives Catherine into consuming a cola that's been contaminated with urine. She becomes enraged and holds Anna responsible. In the present timeline, Jim feels frustrated that Lexi is canceled at the last moment and considers reinstating Anna to her position. At his residence, Jack reviews Rachel's text exchanges with Helen and feels astonished to find them ridiculing him. A video also exists showing Rachel and Helen engaging in inappropriate behavior with Duffy. Meg rushes in to summon him for dinner. Zoe behaves rudely toward Meg and dismisses her to confront Jack regarding Rachel's killing. It emerges that Meg mentioned the DNA swab to her. The siblings argue, each calling the other irresponsible, before Jack maintains that he didn't murder Rachel. In another location, Priya delivers her DNA sample and Duffy's to the morgue. The mortician mentions Jack's earlier visit and how he claimed to be searching for his wedding ring. Priya reacts with surprise since he doesn't wear one. At the network studio, Lexi appears just before broadcast time, stating she was babysitting for her sister-in-law. Jim permits her to replace Anna, who experiences humiliation. That evening, Jack travels to question Helen. Priya phones to inform him that Duffy repeatedly called both Rachel and Helen. A boot print measuring size 10 exists at the crime scene. It doesn't belong to Duffy since he wears size 11. She also inquires about Jack's wedding ring, and he deflects by insisting she should concentrate on surveilling Duffy. She lets it go, but her personal investigation board shows Jack as a suspect. Meanwhile, a neighbor encounters Jack and informs him that Helen remains at the school. He enters through the chapel when she fails to respond. He discovers nothing and exits. As for Priya, she tails Duffy and observes him discarding the inappropriate equipment. Jack visits the supermarket to purchase plastic bags and notices Richard buying bleach and a hammer. Upon spotting Jack, he adds condoms to his purchase. Jack feels quite irritated, and while revisiting the crime scene with his feet covered, he remembers the final encounter with Rachel. She ridicules Anna, and he becomes violent. She claws his face in response. In the present, Jack encounters Coach Willie, who maintains the nearby cemetery. During their conversation, Willie brings up security cameras. They examine the footage and identify a hooded individual standing before a gravestone as a vehicle drives past. The murder occurred on September 2nd. Jack comprehends that Anna was at their daughter Charlotte's grave marking her death anniversary. Anna drives back toward Dahlonega when a song begins playing on the radio. She breaks down crying as it evokes a memory. Jack sings the song to their distressed child. She appears unwell, and they must go somewhere. They entrust her to Alice's care. In the present, Anna sits dejected in her hotel room, and Richard keeps her company. They attempt to understand Lexi's motivations, but Anna discovers there's no sister-in-law for whom to babysit. She wonders if Lexi referred to her sister, but Richard discloses her sister is deceased. Anna indulges in self-pity, questioning whether experiencing misfortune entitles her to behave badly. Meanwhile, Alice's condition deteriorates. Jack finds her roaming the streets without clothes. Once she regains clarity, he pleads with her to seek treatment. However, she would prefer dying in an accident rather than losing her mind. Instead, she implores him to repair his relationship with Anna since he still loves her. The following morning, he receives word that Helen has been killed. He hurries to the school, and Anna has already arrived, smiling as she greets him. Anna reports there is a serial killer. She then expresses that the most perilous capability humans possess is the ability to lie. In the present, Jack interrogates Anna. She states that Helen arranged to meet at 7 a.m. She discovered Helen's corpse, recorded it, and contacted the police 45 minutes afterward. Exasperated, Jack directly demands her alibi for Rachel's killing. She evades the question, and he contemplates whether she's also behind the murders. Priya has also finished her background investigation and informs Jack that Richard fractured a woman's jaw and faced battery assault charges. Jack intends to alert Anna, but she departs, so he intimidates Richard instead. Jim contacts Anna to relay that the network appreciates her work. However, he encourages her to secure more exclusive stories to cement her standing. Feeling desperate, she succeeds in persuading the mayor to organize a televised press conference with a question-and-answer session for residents. Jack believes it's a poor decision, but nobody heeds him. Returning to the case, Helen received a phone call at midnight, though she was already deceased. Her eyes are fastened shut with staples, and a word Lear marks her forehead. The identical bracelet sits in her mouth, but it appears fresh. Jack searches through Zoe's possessions and locates the same bracelet. She discloses that Anna created them for their friend circle. He grasps that it was meant to symbolize a secret bond, and Zoe confirms that Rachel had strong personal feelings for Anna. A high school flashback displays Rachel presenting Anna with a piece of clothing and taking pictures meant to embarrass her. They include Catherine and transform her appearance. Rachel declares the urine incident was a prank and wants another chance. Catherine trusts her, but Zoe and Helen smiles. In the present, Anna hears about Alice's midnight episode and feels concern for her. She offers to assist, and Alice finally accepts. Meanwhile, Priya investigates Helen's midnight phone call when she learns Jack stopped the trace on Rachel's phone. Puzzled, she requests Rachel's phone records too. Before the press conference, Richard connects with Anna, and they share a quiet, emotional moment as he jokes about her carrying a firearm. During the event, Jack faces heckling and simply walks out. Anna appears to settle the crowd, but actually targets Zoe. A fight erupts, and she displays satisfaction. Jim admires the footage when Lexi abruptly declares she's traveling to Dahlonega. Back in town, Zoe challenges Anna for creating chaos and attempts to embrace the serial killer image being attributed to her. Anna frightens her instead by issuing a warning. Suspicious, Zoe questions whether their secret connects to the entire situation. Richard feels admiration for Anna and wants to spend time with her. However, she exits as she determines to finally speak with Jack. Instead, Lexi arrives and has Richard film an exclusive interview with Duffy. The mourning husband even provides a cash reward for information, making Lexi's exclusive a success. Richard attempts to challenge her for taking Anna's moment. She claims it's payback for pursuing her possessions, and she becomes emotionally close with Richard. That evening, Priya locates a group photograph in a yearbook. Anna wears the bracelet and sits alongside Helen, Zoe, and Rachel. Additionally, the mortician contacts Priya because Jack's DNA sample shows cross-contamination. Elsewhere, Jack and Anna finally convene. She acknowledges that she was in the forest and witnessed Rachel and Jack's private encounter. He insists he didn't murder Rachel and that the relationship held no significance. Anna responds with scorn, and they argue over her departure. She seemingly holds him partially accountable for their child's death since he wanted everything flawless to the extent that he dismissed Charlotte's cry of distress as mere fussiness. When she died, he expected Anna to grieve with him according to his preferences. She departed because she felt hollow. She felt like Jack was stealing Charlotte away again by preventing her from mourning in her own manner. He offers an apology, and she reciprocates by apologizing for deserting him. They end up sharing a kiss and reconnecting emotionally, but Anna is distracted. Anna and Jack experience awkwardness after their romance. He continues to suspect she's concealing something about the murders and urges her to be truthful. As for Anna, she reflects that she doesn't release anger. Rather, anger fuels her every morning. Duffy's monetary reward has caused the tip line to become flooded. Sheriff Barnes demands results, and Jack claims he's close to arresting Duffy as the murderer. Priya disrupts his strategy by focusing on Anna. She points out Anna's professional resurgence after Rachel's death, the friendship bracelet, and how the victims didn't resist their killer. Jack becomes upset and protective, but Barnes permits Priya to pursue this angle. Desperate to halt Priya, Jack intensifies his focus on Duffy. He challenges Duffy with Rachel's phone. Jack theorizes C represents Duffy Clyde, and he extorted the women over the compromising footage. He speculates that Duffy murdered Rachel because he detested her for humiliating him. Duffy then discovered Helen attempting to confess to Sheriff Barnes and eliminated her as well. Duffy merely laughs and discloses that he knows G represents Jack, questioning if he's the murderer. This rattles Jack, and he spirals, frantically examining leads from the tip line. He strikes gold when a former lover reveals that he accompanied Rachel to Lux 11 in Atlanta on May 18. She had been struck by someone while he waited outdoors. Meanwhile, Priya interviews Anna. Anna proves overly candid, stating she was never friendly with Rachel, Helen, or Zoe. And yes, she entered the school illegally the day she discovered Helen's corpse, as they knew how to manipulate the lock. Later, Priya observes as Zoe comes to the station to dispute with Jack. Zoe fears she's the next target, and Jack appears bewildered. A panicked Zoe explains that Helen and Rachel frequently tormented Anna while she stood by. But something terrible occurred on Anna's 16th birthday, and Anna may still harbor resentment. Just then, Jack receives information that Richard resides in Lux 11. He ignores Zoe's anxiety and races to confront Richard. He locates the cameraman at a bar and insists on the truth. Richard maintains he was outside the country on May 18. His assault charge actually involved self-defense. Lexi had a female stalker who attacked him. Jack remains unconvinced, and Richard taunts him by mentioning being overly close with Anna, prompting him to physically assault Richard. At the precinct, Priya presents Zoe with their old group photograph. Zoe casually mentions that Catherine captured the photo. Priya feels surprised that a fifth friend exists, and she discovers Catherine A. Kelly in the yearbook. Back at the bar, Anna shows up, but to support Jack. She threatens to expose their affair to Lexi if Richard files charges. Richard surrenders, but their relationship becomes strained. That night, with Meg at a sleepover, a fearful Zoe gets intoxicated, secures her house, and takes a bath to relax. Just when she settles in, someone attacks her. Priya finally obtains Rachel's phone records and notices repeated calls from Duffy, Helen, and Jack. She also researches Catherine and finds an obituary for Andrea Kelly, Catherine's sister. Back at the hotel, an unidentified woman cancels Richard and Anna's room reservation. Richard suggests his in-laws' lake house, and Anna agrees. The route seems recognizable, and Anna remembers a memory. The girls venture to some ruins in the forest. Catherine feels frightened, but Anna continues to comfort her. Rachel invites 3 boys, and they intoxicate Anna and Catherine. Rachel claims Anna for herself, and the boys assault Catherine, while Zoe, Helen, and Rachel mock the situation. In the present, Jack returns home to discover Zoe murdered in the bathtub. Once Richard brings Anna to the lake house, he states it was Lexi's suggestion. Anna feels uneasy and attempts to depart, but no taxis operate due to an approaching storm. Inside, she finds the hammer and bleach and grows increasingly disturbed. Richard maintains Lexi simply wants to reconcile. While he settles in, Anna examines family photographs. Lexi is actually a Kelly. An obituary exists for Andrea Kelly, and photographs show Catherine graduating and losing weight. Andrea appears blonde while Lexi's wedding photograph reveals she's actually a brunette like Catherine, so Anna comprehends Lexi is Catherine. A flashback displays the Kellys at the lake house. Their eldest child, Andrea, acts as a bully as well, tormenting Catherine. Catherine uses Lexi now since her middle name is Alexis. They're preparing for a boat ride, and Lexi drains Andrea's inhaler. Andrea ends up dying from suffocation in the middle of the lake. In the present, Anna transmits Jack her location and phones him. He's weeping over Zoe but composes himself when Anna declares Lexi and Richard are the murderers. Unfortunately, Richard hears and becomes enraged. He accuses Anna of being a manipulator who destroys people's lives for personal benefit. He turns threatening and Anna seizes her gun. She fires all rounds without injuring him, but fortunately she manages to trap him in the cellar. Just then, Lexi enters and becomes furious that Anna attempted to harm her husband. She assaults Anna. Back in town, Priya prevents Jack from pursuing Anna. She wants explanations and summons backup, but Jack strikes her unconscious. Anna and Lexi fight physic. Lexi holds Anna accountable for Rachel's bullying and the birthday attack. Unable to persuade her that she didn't know about Rachel's schemes, Anna throws her over a glass table. Jack travels toward the lake house, and Priya follows him with backup. She receives a call from Sheriff Barnes that Duffy has admitted that Lexi informed Rachel about Andrea's death. Subsequently, Rachel and Helen extorted Lexi regarding it. This explains why Lexi struck Rachel. It cuts to Lexi grabbing Anna's gun and squeezing the trigger. Jack and Priya arrive simultaneously. Jack positions himself in front of Anna while Priya shoots Lexi dead. The police locate Rachel's nails and the murder weapon at the lake house. Richard faces arrest as an accomplice. Sheriff Barnes recalls Lexi weeping publicly and celebrating privately after Andrea had died. Anna tells Jack everything about Lexi's assault on her and apologizes for not revealing it earlier. Priya feels remorse about killing a technically unarmed Lexi, and Jack reassures her that she'll be fine. 1 year elapses and Anna carries Jack's child and returns as a TV anchor. According to Richard's lawyer, he never intended to kill Anna, and he and Lexi simply wanted to frame her for the murders. Anna sues him, and his team wants to settle. Her new agent intimidates Jim and the network into providing her a favorable contract. Meg embraces her and Alice's family. Anna has also employed a nurse to care for Alice. Jack, Anna, and Meg visit Charlotte's grave and then visit Alice. While Jack and Alice play with Meg, Anna discovers a letter from her mother. Everything Anna has been narrating throughout the show, discussing lies, anger, and murder, exists in Alice's letter. Alice is the actual killer, and she confesses through the letter. In a flashback, Charlotte dies from crib death. When Anna runs away, Alice watches her old tapes to feel connected to her. The boys don't actually assault Catherine. Anna drops her hand at him to shove them, so the boys decide to assault Anna instead. Anna asks for help, but Catherine runs away, while they laugh. Another flashback displays Catherine being cruel to Alice, who used to be her maid. When Lexi takes Anna's job, Alice instantly recognizes her. Alice visits Charlotte's grave frequently, and that's how she discovers Rachel and Jack's affair. On Charlotte's death anniversary, Alice witnesses Anna return and notice Jack and Rachel. Right then, she decides to avenge Anna. She fakes having memory issues. She slashes Rachel's tire, murders her, discards her clothes, and pretends to be a confused elderly woman. This brings Anna home to her. As a former cleaner, she possesses keys to most locations like the school and Zoe's house. She murders Helen to help reunite Jack and Anna. She murders Zoe to give Anna a child, Meg. She arranges all the murders so they appear as if Lexi is the killer. She never intended Lexi to die, but to be jailed for abandoning Anna. This explains why she places Rachel's nails and murder weapons at Lexi's lake house. She also canceled the hotel reservation, confident that Jack would rescue Anna from Lexi and Richard at the lake house, but she doesn't care that Priya killed Lexi. Alice concludes the letter by hoping Anna loves her children the way she loves Anna. Seeing all this, Anna smiles, and she realized that her mother avenged her. And that's how the story ends. Let me know what you think about this series in the comments.